Now, let's move to the opposing division, the AFC West. My fourth ranked team are the recently relocated team, the Las Vegas Raiders. This, in my opinion, is a pivotal year in the John Gruden era. He overhauled the Raiders roster, and now there should be signs of improvement. I can talk about who they signed in free agency and drafted, but this is the biggest question. It is the quarterback. Raiders quarterback Derek Carr had an MVP-type season in 2016, but he has been mediocre since. This is a prove-it year for Carr, because if he's stopping the team from succeeding this year, the Raiders will sign or draft his replacement. I truly think that the Raiders will have a better year, but not as many Raiders fans hope. I predict the Raiders to finish 8-8, and they will miss the playoffs. My third ranked team in the AFC West is the LA Chargers. A few teams have such roster depth like the Chargers, having one of the league's best offensive playmakers, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, and more, and one of the league's deepest secondaries. This offseason, they strengthened their offensive line by adding former Packers tackle Byron Bulaga and guard Trey Turner. Also, they improved their defense by adding stud cornerback Chris Harris Jr. and defensive tackle Linval Joseph. But still, the team will go as far as Tyrod Taylor takes them. You gotta remember, even though he was a backup last season, in 2017 he led the Buffalo Bills to the playoffs, cutting a 17-year playoff drought in Buffalo. If Tyrod Taylor plays like 2017 Tyrod Taylor, the Chargers are for sure playoff contenders. But for now, I'll predict them to finish with a 9-7 record. My second ranked team in this division is the Denver Broncos, the Mile High City up in the mountains. So the Denver Broncos had a promising end to the season. Their second round pick, quarterback Drew Lock out of Missouri, won 4 out of 5 games to end the season, only losing to the Super Bowl champs Kansas City Chiefs. This season, they added players to fill in key departures, trading for defensive tackle Jarrell Casey to replace Derek Wolfe, trading for cornerback AJ Bouye to replace Chris Harris Jr., and signing guard Graham Glasgow after Connor McGovern left in free agency. This team has a solid roster all around, and if Drew Lock continues his end-of-season form or better, the Broncos are a playoff team. I predict the Broncos to finish 9-7. To me, it's a coin flip between them and the Chargers on who makes the playoffs, but for the sake of prediction, I'll pick the Broncos to make the playoffs as a wildcard team. My number one team in the AFC West, big surprise, is my favorite team, the Kansas City Chiefs. As a diehard Chiefs fan, that Super Bowl victory, I'll cherish that moment for the rest of my life. Me and my dad woke up at 1 a.m., made some guacamole with nachos to watch the game live. The fourth quarter comeback just made me so happy. And finally, the 50-year drought was over. Oh, oops, I got carried away a little bit. Let's talk some facts. 20 out of the 22 starters, or now 18 out of the 22 after Corona opt-outs of a Super Bowl roster, are returning. The Chiefs did lose cornerback/safety Kendall Fuller in free agency to the Washington football team, but last year's 6th-round pick cornerback Rashad Fenton showed last season that he's at least a compatible replacement. Also, drafting running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of LSU at the last pick of the first round proved to be a great pick after running back Damian Williams, the Super Bowl hero, opted out of the season due to the coronavirus. Also, Sammy Watkins took a pay cut to keep the best offense in the league intact, with Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Sammy Watkins, and more. It's an historically hard matchup for every defense. So due to the roster staying pretty much the same, I predict the Chiefs to finish 12-4 and win the division. And there you go, we've made it to the end of the episode. Hope you all enjoyed. I had a lot of fun recording. And from now on, there'll be a Q&A segment at the end of each episode. So if you made it till here, write a question in the comments, and I'll be answering any questions at the end of each episode. And don't forget to follow the Catch Up Sports Instagram at Catch Up Sports. You can also listen to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube, and also SoundCloud. And I'll see you guys later.